So on today's exciting KLR wrenching episode, we're going to look at how to remove and reinstall fresh wheel bearings on the front wheel. So first thing you got to do is take off the front wheel, which is covered in another video that I have. Link is in the description. So one side you can just tap out just fine, and that is this side with the brake. And then the other side has an oh shit ring in it, which is, you can see right there. So make sure you take that out before you lay into it with the hammer. Otherwise you'll be going, WTF is going on? This isn't working quite right. So go ahead and, if the little spacer in there isn't loose, you can get in there with like a screwdriver or something, work out of the way, and then put a punch in, and then start tapping around the edges of the bearing on the bottom, and get that out, and then the spacer will fall out too. And then once that's out, so this one would be out, you can get in there with the punch again and tap the other side out. It may require heating the hub a little bit with a torch of some sort. Propane would probably be best. I would advise against oxyacetylene. When pounding the speedo side bearing out, keep in mind that there are 3 little tabs in there. Don't pound on those lest you destroy something that you should not destroy. Make sure you pound on the actual bearing. So after you get the bearings out, make sure you clean as much grease out as you can reach. I will note that inside, from the other side, it is rather conical, so just be aware of that. And as a side note, the bearings are 2 different sizes. This is on the big cone side, and then this is the side with the oh shit ring. To make installation of the new bearings easier, it would be helpful if you put them in the freezer for a little bit to make them ever so slightly smaller diameter than normal. And before you do that, to decrease the risk of moisture getting on them when you take them out of the freezer, put some grease on the metal surfaces. So then if you forget to grease them before you put them in the freezer, try to grease them as soon as you take them out to avoid the moisture on them. And then when you're ready to put them in, grease the inside of here as well. And then I would recommend putting the small one in first, that is the one that uses the oh shit ring, so that you can get that one fully seated and the oh shit ring in. And use a 24mm socket and carefully tap on centered. And the reason for that is 24mm will tap on the outside ring of the bearing, not on the inside. And then for the bigger one, use a 27mm to tap on the outside. After you get the speedometer side bearing back in place, make sure you put the oh shit ring back in. I will note that there are 2 sides. There is a sort of smooth rounded side and then a flat side. You can tell which side is which by the edges. This is the flat side, and then the smooth side. Make sure that the flat side goes out, because that's where the force will be if there is any.
Once you get the bearing back in, clean off your spacer, check it for cracks, dents, nicks, small nicks and stuff you can fix with a file. There aren't any in here, so we'll see how that's done. Then go ahead and grease it, and then pop it back in, and then gently tap in this second larger bearing using the 27mm socket. And make sure that you have the open side down on the bearing so that you don't have the flat surface across the inside of the bearing where that might cause damage. And also make sure that you grease the inside of here.
Make sure you don't put too much tension on the spacer so that these lock up, and it should turn freely without too much effort, and then you have it.
A piece that looks like this. That is for inside the speedometer housing. Here there is a little gasket type thing that gets pulled out. If it doesn't come out easily, you can use a screwdriver, go in, pop it out, going around the edge, and then you can clean off the set here, which is probably all gummed up and disgusting. So clean that out and put some nice new fresh grease in.
After you get the speedometer housing all greased up and put back together, go ahead and install the wheel back onto the bike. Torque the axle to 58 foot-pounds. I go more in depth on front wheel installation in a separate video, to which there is a link. I hope this video helped, and good luck!